it is not over until it's over. Now, what's playing here on the background is a game that happened 2 days ago, I believe, between Portugal and Croatia. And this is not going to be a video about football per se or about the game itself, the tactics, what happened, if there were robberies or not, besides the point. But I think sports in general, despite what a lot of people say that it's like, oh, you shouldn't watch it and you're just wasting time and all that, they really represent very well, specifically here, this phenomenon that happens all across life that sometimes, no matter how illogical something may seem, no matter how unrealistic it may seem for you to even strive for a certain outcome, to achieve a certain thing, it really is not over until it's over. And while there's that possibility, while it exists, for how infinitely small it may be, well, by its very logic and definition for how obvious it is, then it exists. And if it exists, it can be achieved. And if it can be achieved, and if you are after it, it deserves your effort. To give a bit more context, in this game, it started, I don't know exactly at what point the highlights are here, but it started Portugal losing 1-0. Then we score. The goal gets, it doesn't stand. Then the penalty, they score. And then at the last, 90 plus 3 minutes, scores a goal. And then prolongs so much that almost at, beyond what the game should have even been played, Croatia scores and it doesn't stand. Now, if you're like me and you were watching as someone from Portugal invest in the game, it was very emotionally draining and it's very exhausting to watch a type of game. But it really shows you both sides of it, that, the positive side, that, you should always strive for it because it can happen no matter how unrealistic, no matter how poorly you were playing before, no matter what happened before. If the chance happens, you can make it happen. And on the other side of things too, that, you can't just kind of assume things are done when they're not done yet, and that you can just kind of slack off when it's still not the time to slack off, and not expect that things can't go wrong. 'Cause sometimes they will. If there's that possibility for things to happen, sometimes they will happen. And I think going beyond sports themselves, I think they just represent this so well in our lives. If you look at some of the best things that happened in your life, and I'm going to focus here on the positive, if you look back before they happened, from the point that you didn't know they could happen, that they were going to happen, it would seem very unrealistic. It would seem very crazy to even attempt them, to go for them. All the twists and turns that had to happen for that outcome to essentially happen to you was not realistic, was not in a lot of ways logical. You could not have connected all these dots before they happened, and for things to happen in such a way. Yet they did. And yet we all have these moments where, or I hope we do, and if you haven't had them yet, I hope you will have, and you will have if you strive for them, where it seems crazy. It doesn't seem like there's any possibility of it happening. It doesn't seem realistic for it to happen. Yet somehow it does happen. If you believe in it, if you strive for it, if you go for it. Not always. And sometimes, again, the opposite happens, where everything seems like it's perfectly aligned and then it doesn't happen. I don't know, like the classical examples, like the promotion that you were supposed to get, that it seemed like it could not escape you, and then it does escape you. And then on the opposite hand of that scenario, there's the other person that it seemed like it could not happen, and it happened for them. And in a lot of ways, that's the beauty of life, that is so well represented in sports, whether that's football or basketball. Football, soccer, I call it here in Europe, called football, of course, baseball, whatever it may be, because it shows us that possibility in a very short time frame, and it shows us the impossible happening, positive and negative. And so in the time that the World Cup is still going on, and we're all, I hope most people are tuning in to watch, because it is just an entertaining show to watch. For me, obviously, because my team is still in it, my country is still in it, but even if it's not, and let us see that beauty in it, and allow us as well to then see how it translates to life, because it really does. It really, again, repeating myself here, but it is not over until it's over. And while there's a possibility to try, because if there's a possibility to try, that means there's a possibility, usually, no matter how small, to for those efforts to be rewarded in the way that you want. And while that is there, and you're invested and you want, and it's a goal that matters to you, then it's not unreasonable to try. It's not crazy. It's not stupid. It's not it doesn't mean that you should just kind of give up and go do the more reasonable thing. Because all the things that were achieved that were not thought possible before were unreasonable. And you would have been called an unreasonable man, woman, person for trying it. And if no one ever does unreasonable things, then things always remain the same. And your life remains the same. And if that's what you want, fair enough. But if it's not what you want, you have to be willing to be unreasonable.